Hey everyone, my name is Gamer Corey, and welcome to the quote-unquote career mode of Microsoft Flight Simulator 2020. Now, this is on-air airline manager, so if you guys want to add a little bit more immersion to your gameplay experience and want to be more of like an actual pilot, starting from pretty much nothing and then working up your way from, say, a Cessna, all the way up to, you know, the 787, the 747, things like that, and maybe future aircraft down the road, then this is going to be definitely something for you guys. Instead of always flying from point A to point B with no real meaning behind it, this is going to give that much more of a meaning. So in this episode, what I would like to do is kind of talk a little bit about the program. Now, I am not super experienced by any means with the program. I literally just started it, and I wanted to get myself familiar with everything, at least in a little bit of depth before getting a video out to you guys. So I have made a little bit of progress, and I'm going to give you guys some of the tips and tricks that that I have learned along the way. Now, you guys can actually subscribe to this service for 7 days completely for free. And then after that, we're going to actually transition our screens here just one quick second. So we're going to go on over to this one. And on this one, you guys will actually be able to see that, like, this is the on-air airline manager. So you can come in here. It's manage your own airline company in an online persistent world. So this takes virtual airlines kind of a step further, in my honest opinion, because I've participated in some virtual airlines in the past, and it's a great part of it. It's a great community to be a part of. However, you really are just doing the same thing that you would do in Flight Simulator that you would be doing anyway. You would just, except for you're given some routes that you can choose from, and you pick a company that you would like to fly in certain areas, and then you can choose, you know, if you progress throughout the rankings, you can start with, you know, an A320 and then slowly work your way up so that you can fly the 747s and the 787s and the 777s and things like that. But you're still only flying from point A to point B and not really getting rewarded for it, except for increasing your rank inside of a virtual airline. And that's all you're doing. Whereas something like on-air airline manager, you start with an investment, which is probably more of an investment than most people could afford in real life, for an airline company, and then you start to work your way up, and then you buy aircraft, you can rent aircraft, you can actually hire AI pilots, you can actually interact with other people that play the game as well inside of Microsoft Flight Simulator 2020. So that's really, really cool in my opinion. Now, there is a completely free version of this, but it's not obviously presented by OnAir. You can actually get it through FS Economy. However, there's two things right now with it. Number one, their website is down, at least at the time that I'm recording this, and it has been down for a few days because I think it's under new ownership and new management. And I've created an account, and it took I think it was almost a week before I got my account created. And then by the time my account was created, I went to actually log in. I was able to log in once, and then after that, I couldn't do anything more with it. So I don't know if that service is going to be free anymore, because if it is under new ownership and new management, that could completely change. So I just want to kind of go over all of this, and we're just going to quickly look at the on-air website just real quickly. So you can download the CEO operations manual right here, which I have done. It just kind of helps you through everything to the screen. It's like 100 pages, so it's going to be a little bit of reading material if you want to read it. I have not read all of it, but it's a persistent world, so you can follow your aircraft, employees, cargoes, passengers, etc. in real time on a live map. Manage your company from multiple devices, a rich Windows client, all the features to manage your company, and an iOS and Android application, dashboard, and access to the logistics center to find and take adequate jobs. It's awesome. There's a lot of interaction with it. And even if you don't want to fly with Microsoft Flight Simulator, you can still technically play on Air, the airline manager, as a game without ever flying in flight sim. So if you've ever dreamed about owning your airline company and kind of doing things along the way, this is still a great option for you guys. Like I said, there is a little bit of a cost to it, but it's really not that bad. So you get to run your own company. You can hire the AI pilots. You can track all of your flights, which is actually really cool. So you can actually, if you fly them yourself, you can actually see yourself in Microsoft Flight Simulator flying, and then it's actually pretty accurate to where you guys are at. You can connect to the logistics center and search for the best jobs possible, which we're going to kind of break that down here in just a little bit. Then you got the survival world, which is more for experienced people. I'm not currently playing on the survival mode as of right now, but I would like to. But I wanted to get more experience with the platform in the game prior to actually doing anything with it. And then you can gain skills, and that unlocks points, and it allows you to be able to transport different types of cargo. From medical equipment, you can actually do like short-term like changeover things. You can do more passengers and slowly work your way up just with whatever way you really want to play the game. It's pretty awesome. So this kind of brings in like some role-playing elements, and you can choose, hey, I want to focus on only going passenger, or I want to focus on this, or I want to focus on that. Like I said, you get that 7-day free trial that you can actually go ahead and download and play for yourself. Now, like I said, there is a little bit of cost after that 7 days. I personally would recommend that you guys actually, if you're going to do this, subscribe through Aerosoft. It's actually a little bit cheaper. This is obviously not in the US dollars, so I got to convert that to find out exactly what that is. But I'm probably going to order it straight through Aerosoft. And then the other thing that I would recommend is probably going after the 12-month service, because look at that. If you did 1 month, $9 a month versus $35 for a year. So you pay for 4 or 6 months, and you get the other 6 months completely for free. Why would you? Or actually 4. You only pay for 4 months and you get 8 months completely for free. That is insane. So you might as well take advantage of something like that, or at least do the 6 months, because it's really not that much of a difference. You're saving $7 in the grand scheme of things. But if you go through Aerosoft, which we're actually going to go ahead and load up here, I'm not going to purchase this online because I still really want to kind of dive into it, but it's cheaper. It was $35 over here for 12 months, but then a year here is $29. So you're saving $6. That's awesome by just doing that. So, like I said, a little bit of cost involved with it, and you can kind of choose what you want to do. And obviously, you can get down a little bit further if you guys do the 12 or the 24 months. And we know that Microsoft Simulator will get better over time, and I'm sure this game will get better as Microsoft Flight Simulator 2020 gets better as well. So let's go ahead and move back over to our other screen, and we're going to kind of take a look at the actual program itself. You can change your world. There's 3 separate worlds, and it all kind of depends on what you guys are wanting to participate in. So this is your survival world. This is non-survival world. It's completely a survival world. And then this is a world without any AI pilots. But you will get co-pilots, crew members, and mechanics will be a part of the game, but you can't have anybody fly your planes for you like you could in these 2 worlds. So these 2 worlds are what you would play if you're wanting to play this as a game and not actually fly any of your own flights in Microsoft Flight Simulator. All right, so what we can do, you get more than 35,000 airports, but there is a tutorial option, which when you guys are first starting out, regardless of what world you're starting with, I highly recommend that you actually play the tutorial. I actually started my company in London, and I started at London Gatwick, not London Heathrow. But it had me fly from the London area over to EBOS, which I don't know exactly where that airport is at. I guess I'd have to look it up. It was about an hour to an hour and a half flight. But look at what you actually get for it. You make $7,500 for it, and then you get a free aircraft, a piston aircraft from doing it. So you actually save about $50,000. And I got the, it was the Cessna 152, I think that's right, with the Garmin 1000 instruments in it. So it was pretty fantastic, and actually I'm having a fun time flying that one right now. Well, let's jump into the world. We're actually going to go ahead and jump in. It's going to connect to everything. Makes it look all pretty and whatnot. Paper airplane flying away, just like that. It does take a little bit of time to connect, and this is completely online. So if you guys don't have internet, then this could be a little bit of a problem. So you got all of your different things that you can see right here. That's a notifications log. You can see that I've flown a few different flights, and I've actually had a couple AI flights actually kind of happen. So that's awesome. But you can see that my total income is 14,900. So I started with 170,000. I didn't have to buy any aircraft, so I didn't have that expense. So this is what our income statement kind of looks like here. So we spent some money on an aircraft renting, which I need to do something about this because this is actually costing me money right now. And then we had a $2,900 down payment. Then which I've got back because I actually rented an aircraft with no fuel, which you need to be very careful with that, especially if the airport that you find your aircraft at doesn't have a fueling station or an FBO opportunity. So, but you can always start one. And I'm not going to get into that here in this episode. This is more just kind of like a brief overview of it. So you can go in here. You got your dashboard. So this is what we looked at when we first logged in. You can see we got 2 jobs pending, which I thought oh yeah, because it's you actually get your level missions, which that's what you get a ton of experience points from by actually doing the missions. Otherwise, I actually found this one right here, and this one is going from London Heathrow all the way over to Poland. And it's a pretty far distance. It's 640, but in a single prop aircraft, it's going to take a little bit of time. So I rented this Cirrus, was it the SR-22? And that can go about 900 nautical miles. So that's actually going to be a lot of fun. And I do plan on recording that, or at least a portion of it, so you guys can kind of see how to set everything up. I've never flown the aircraft, so it should be quite interesting when we give that a try. But then we can do the level 2 missions, and you can see like in here, what we need to do. We'd have to fly up to EGSS, and then there's, let's see, what, kind of look at everything that we need here. So it looks like it goes from here up to here, and then it looks like you lose some of your pounds there, and then you go up to here. You fly down to here, you fly here, and then you end here. So that's kind of neat how everything just kind of works. But this one says that you need to fly the printed back. So ultimately, what I would do is probably here to there to there. Also main. So we're actually starting at there. Yeah, so I guess I just have to figure out how to actually. I don't know what the order is of these. So there you go. Now we can actually take a look at all those. So the first one would be from EKK up to LGLF, and then we have to go from here to here, and then from LGF to up to here, and then from here to here, and then from here to here. Yeah, so let's go in this way. So, 5 flights, not so bad. It's pretty cool though how it actually works, and then you can get quite a bit. I'm gonna make $7,500 from it. Obviously, I have to pay for the expenses like fuel and landing fees. It's $20 per landing fee, so that's $100 lost plus whatever the cost of the fuel. And each time that I go somewhere, I try to fuel up. That way, if I land in an airport that I can't refuel at, I can at least do something with that aircraft. All right, so there's that opportunity. We can take a look at this is our live operations map. So you can see that both my aircraft one that I rented and one that I own are currently actually sitting here at Heathrow, and same with my character and my AI pilot. We can take a look at like the flight logs, which we kind of looked at the notification logs earlier. So this last one, I actually had to move an empty plane because I needed to get myself and my plane back to Heathrow. So That's what I did. I flew an empty plane basically from point A to point B, and they're usually not very far at the first point in time. Now, the one that's not in here is the tutorial, so and I don't know why that's not in here, but then we got aircraft. You can see that we are renting this one, and we got this one, and you can see like the condition of them, and then ultimately what you would have to do is, you know, start to do some like workshop on them. Like if we wanted to fix this one up, I can choose which one I want to like work at. I can do the maintenance. And I could go, I want to get a quote from Heathrow FBO. So we can actually click on that. And it's going to take 1 day. It's going to cost us $1,400 to get that repair. So it's basically paperwork and handling is $500. Markup, $513. So it's quite expensive if you think about it. But that's why you want to kind of get your condition down. We can do the annual checkup. You can also repair this. That's $4,500. So that's, you know, pretty expensive. But yeah, it's really, really cool, I think, with different things that you can do in here. Then we got the skills tree. I'm still learning about the FBO, so I probably won't go over that in this video, but you can see that I had 2 to start with and then 1 to do, so I could hiring agreement, so I could actually hire employees and freelancers. That's how I was able to hire the AI pilot. Unlock jobs with passengers. That's how I was able to get that executive one and make a lot of money for that one flight from here over to Poland, which will probably be a couple hour flight, maybe 3-hour flight. You know, will take a little bit of time. But I'm going to make some decent money. And then, you know, all the other different things that you want to do. I'm trying to stay away from loans, but yeah, and then eventually getting some negotiate landing fees and things like that, and yada, yada, yada. That'll save us money. But eventually, obviously, you want to fill this all the way up if you possibly can. And then we've got, you know, the pending jobs, which we kind of looked at like earlier, these two. Then you got the world. So you can find your jobs. So in here, you can actually choose your airport. Wherever airport you're at. I don't know, I can't remember where the other one was going to, but you know, somewhere in Poland. So what I would do is when I fly over to Poland, I think it was somewhere like right around in here, I think is where it was at. What I would want to do is see how close I can get back to Heathrow by finding a job once I get there. So what I can do, and I can actually show you this, is let's take a look at our jobs. So pending jobs, we're flying over to EPPO. This is just one flight over there, so EPPO. And then what we can do is we can go and find jobs, and then we can actually do EPPO, and then we want to probably do that 500 to 1,000 nautical miles, and then I can actually go, I can actually have 4 passengers with this. I don't know what I can have for pounds. I guess I have to look at that. And then we can actually take a look at what we have. So this would be the only one that we could actually do. And that one actually goes way down into Italy, but that one's kind of expensive. That one is pretty expensive, unfortunately. We could also look at the 250 to 500 nautical miles, and we could see if there's anything that's actually getting us closer to England. So that one we could go up to Stockholm. That could make us actually a little bit of money. That's a decent amount of money right there. Or you can look at like shorter ones. We could take a nice short flight and make $7,500 to go to there. It's really kind of cool, like how they actually have things all set up in here. And then you can actually rent out your own plane to other people and all that other stuff, but I'm going to probably get into that in a lot of other separate videos. But I just kind of wanted to get over that there is a career mode in Microsoft Flight Simulator if you really want to be able to take advantage of it. And it's really not that expensive for a year to play this if you really think about it. But anyway, hopefully you guys did enjoy. If you guys have any questions regarding this game at all, or the OnAir airline manager, by all means, leave a comment down below because I'd love to be able to help you guys out if I possibly can. Again, it's something that I'm learning, and I'm going to be playing the full 7 days. I guarantee it. But anyway, because I definitely love flying, and it actually gives me a reason to fly some of the smaller planes, because when I was part of a virtual airline, I just wanted to fly an A320 or above. I never wanted to participate in any of the other small aircraft, but this gives you a reason, and a reason to actually learn some of those other aircraft, because it just makes sense. And it's fun. A lot more fun than being, hey, you told you need to fly a certain aircraft for 10 hours in order to move on up. It's not, why? Why do I need to do that for 10 hours? This gives you that reason for 10 hours. But anyway, hopefully you guys did enjoy. If you guys did, I'll be coming out with more episodes of the career mode of Microsoft Flight Simulator coming very, very, very soon. But if you guys did enjoy, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe down below. It would help me out a lot and is greatly appreciated. But until next time, YouTube, you guys keep doing what you're doing because you're already doing it. And you guys stay gaming.